Welcome to the Neon Shadow series. Episode 3, The Neutral Zone Entry, 402. Sector 12, otherwise known as the Dead Man's Hand. If you're hearing this, Kael, it means the Foxy Lady found her way home and I didn't. Don't sell the ship for scrap, okay? She likes her fusion injectors cleaned with grade A lubricant, not that recycled Katra they sell at the refinery. We're sitting in the neutral zone right now. You know why they call it that? Because the air is so toxic and the gangs are so mean that even the triads and the Xylotians couldn't agree on who gets to rule the rubble, so they just left it to rot. It's a 5-mile stretch of collapsed megastructures and rusted girders between the Lotus territory and the outer rims. And I'm flying a goddamn lighthouse through it. I told them to keep their hoods up. I told those lumens to fold their light or whatever it is they do. But have you ever tried to tell a star not to shine? In the cargo hold, the air is thick with this blue mist. It's coming off their skin. It's beautiful, Kael. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and it's going to get me killed. Every sensor in Sector 12 is tuned to find heat and light. To a scavenger gang, my ship looks like a giant flying credit chip. I was gliding through the girders, that skeleton of the old Skyscraper 4, running on silent thrusters. No active scans, just me, the yoke, and the dark. I was doing fine. I was halfway through the zone. Then the rust hounds showed up. They're not a cartel. They're worse. They're the bottom feeders. A mix of humans who've lost their minds to Glow and Skitterkin, who've forgotten how to do anything but rip metal. They don't use ships. They use jump skiffs. Rusted platforms with oversized fusion engines strapped to the back. They didn't hail me. They don't have translators. They just fired a harpoon. Clang. The sound echoed through the whole hull. A 3-meter titanium barb slammed into the Foxy Lady's tail, right near the secondary fuel line. They started winching themselves in. They wanted to board. They wanted the cargo. I looked at the monitor. 3 more skiffs were closing in. They were screaming. Not into the comms, just screaming into the vacuum, their voices amplified by external speakers. I had a choice. I could vent the cargo hold. I could let the lumens out into the vacuum. The rust hounds would scramble for the bodies, and I could punch the thrusters and disappear. Uncle Sean would be pissed, but I'd be alive. I put my hand on the emergency vent lever. My thumb was right there, Kael, ready to flip the switch. Then I heard it. In my earpiece. That little one, the one I caught in the rain, it started singing. Not words. Just this vibration. It felt like a warm blanket on a cold night. It felt like the way Mom used to smell before the shroud got her lungs. My hand moved, but not to the vent. I slammed the Foxy Lady into a full reverse lateral. I didn't care about the G-force. I wanted to use that harpoon cable like a whip. The skiff attached to us didn't expect it. They thought I'd run. Instead, I swung the tail of my ship into a derelict crane. The skiff smashed into the steel like a bug on a windshield. The cable snapped, whipping back and taking out a chunk of my own hull plating, but I was free. But the other 3? They were on me. I dove into the sewer pipes, those massive 20-meter wide exhaust vents that run under the city. It's a maze of fan blades and toxic sludge. I was redlining the fusion core. The heat in here was hitting 50 degrees. I was sweating through my flight suit, screaming in Hindi, English, Cantonese. I think I even made up a few words. I led them right into a fan room. Massive turbines 30 meters across, spinning at 5,000 RPMs. I know Foxy's dimensions. I know her down to the millimeter. I timed the rotation. I punched the afterburners and slipped through the gap in the blades with an inch to spare. The rust hounds? They aren't pilots. They're scavengers. 2 of them didn't even try to brake. They just turned into confetti. Shards of rust and blue engine fire. The 3rd one tried to turn, stalled out, and got sucked into the intake. I made it out. I'm sitting in a maintenance crawl space now, waiting for my heat signature to drop. I went back to the hold a few minutes ago to check on the cargo. They were all huddled together. The light was dim, faded, like they were mourning. The little one looked at me, and the translator chirped, "You have a heavy heart, pilot. It beats like a hammer on a cracked bell." I didn't know what to say to that. So I just checked their water rations and left. 40,000 credits, Kael. That's the price of my soul. I'm delivering 12 stars to a butcher so I can get you out of a hole in the ground. I keep telling myself it's worth it. I keep telling myself that the dark doesn't care who's holding the candle. But then I look at my hands, and they're still shaking. We're moving again in 10 minutes. Sector 12 is behind us, but the neutral zone was the easy part. Now we have to enter the rims. That's where the Xylosian patrols are thickest. If you get this, Kael, just know I tried. I really tried to be one of the good ones. But the sun's been gone a long time, and it's getting harder to see the line between the pilot and the scavenger. Foxy is humming, she's ready, end log.